Hello and welcome to the Pirate King Plays Blueprints. Where last we left our inheritor, we explored the estate more. I don't actually think we made any big puzzle progress yesterday. Did we get one of the keys? We might have gotten one of the sanctum keys. We only have one sanctum key left. I also messed around with the pump room and um, made sure that fountain is always open and the lake is in the position for the boat to work. We had the the moon necklace yesterday, so we ended up keeping the battery pack and the sleeping mask. That's slightly disappointing, being that we have the key card, but oh well. Now, two things. First, regarding this game, I've decided that while we are still going to be searching for clues about the other four nations, we already have a blessing going at the moment, so we're gonna take this. Um, that's good. Gear wrench and metal detector. Um, if we get that final key, uh, before solving the other sigils, we're just going to look at them. I know where they are. I have the answer, very easily accessible. Um, I've been trying to find the clues in order to learn it that way. Do we want the dining room here? Dining room on the first level doesn't seem that good because we'd have to come all the way back to use it. But it's also a 3-door, and that's a very good spot for a 3-door. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright. Oof. Bedroom's the only one that moves on. And at least we'll get the sleeping mask for it. Sleeping mask bonus, I mean. Conference room is good, but also breakfast nook. I think we'll breakfast nook first, and we will go this way first because there might be. I see the lunchbox, but does it go off for the lunchbox? It does. Huh. But yeah, if we end up with those 4 doors open and I can't solve them right there and then, we're gonna look it up. Next, on a different game, yesterday I went through and did the what's it called? The Animus quests in. Yeah, this was a fine place for the conference room. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, and was disappointed to find that somehow it reset the thing I was getting those for, to the first one that we had already completed. So that was kind of useless, really annoying. And I will say I saw, you know what? Sure, commissary. I saw that they had added those new quests back at the hideout, so easy to avoid. Oh man. Sledgehammer and running shoes. Hell yes. I'll leave what I have for right now. Go in here. Oh, there's something. It's not over there. Coins on the ground. Okay. Kind of want to get the breakfast nook before we go on, but I'll draft this room. Yeah, corridor. Now that blessing we have going gives us a bunch of those courtyards in the pool for the day, which is very good. But it's a the last day of that. Ah, security! Hell yeah. Ah, right. No, it's already commonplace. We're good. You know, we're actually gonna go this way, so I can go in the bedroom. Get the 2 for that. And the coin purse. And then the 5 from the mask. Okay. Oh, there's 2 coins sitting about. Probably in here. Or in the corridor. Ah. Well, there's 1 in here. Which means there's 1 probably in the corridor. Well, we're not getting the corner, but I'll take the morning room. Well, good news is not only is there a key sitting about, but we have the hammer, so we can already open this. Car keys? Yeah, alright. Workshop. It's already commonplace. We're good. Broken lever. Oh shit, we can make the power hammer already. Should I do that just in case? Yeah, I think I will do that just in case. Entirely sure where we'll be able to use it, but it's very good to have. Look at how that's designed. What's the point? What does it do? Does it electrify the hammer? The hammerhead? Does it magnetize it so it swings faster? I don't know. Yeah, the garage. We want that. So far, the only other way forward is the corridor. Den is good to have, though. This is a good spot for it. Yeah, we'll take that. I should probably go back to the corridor, to be honest. Observatory. Start going down this way. Should all be good. Florealis, Bloom of the Sky, Diamondus Minor, Farmer's Apple, and Clavis the Key. Yeah, go for the armory. We can get all of them. I don't need that, though. So we'll just take the Night Shield and the Self-Igniting Torch. Now, here's the thing. We didn't get the one thing we need to burn. That would have been... We got the tool shed instead. Everything would be a dead end, and I'm okay with that. The keys and gem would be useful, I guess. We do have a few of those already. 2 items in here. Could be keys or gems, or gold, but I'm hoping it's something else. So we're going to go with the bedroom closet. Dice, which is good, but also a key, which is standard. Ophiru. Definitely don't want a shield from the chapel. I can deal with the chapel. Third else? If there was, it would definitely be over here. Look at this again. We'll probably get the Explorer's Trophy, Bullseye Trophy, Logical Trophy, maybe a Trophy of Invention. We'll get around to it. Don't entirely know about the drafting strategy sweepstakes. Absolutely the Trophy of Sigils. As I said, we're going to do all of that. Definitely not the Darebird or Cursed. Impossible to get day 1 or Trophy of Speed. Buy out the entire showroom? Possible! That is possible. Well, Diploma, ace the classroom final exam. Also possible, but we have to get the schoolhouse. Trophy of Trophies, complete the trophy case. Nope. So, there's a lot of possible trophies. Oh, I need them to turn, though. How do this one? I wonder if this counts as a room with a fireplace if it's out. Nope, pool's good. Pool is a good one. Both directions. Also, I couldn't move the water to get far down enough to get those while also having other things open the way I want them, which is sad. We have 3 keys, it's fine for now. Classroom. Actually, all of these are dead ends. Don't want them to be dead ends. You won't be a dead end. And you'll have gems and a trunk by the looks of it. 3 keys! What do you know? Wouldn't mind the utility closet, but that would block off everything for the most part. Well, not everything. Yeah. Well, I mean, gift shop or passageway. This is a good place for the passageway, because the 2 that are connected are actually connected. Plus, we can go back down this way, and that's a much easier way to get to the conference room and dining room. There's also probably a coin in there. I'm not going to go in until we need to. Some other rooms I should have drafted before leaving, but yeah. I mean, I would be able to shield against this, but it's not the best placement for it. We'll take the laboratory. It's already commonplace. It's weird that it took this long to get it. Move a crate from the tunnel. There's also the letter in the mail room, which I kinda want. We need to do this. But this actually could possibly give us hints, but it also requires drafting the mailroom, which is a dead end, which I don't like doing. We're doing this one. And that also means the first time we do this, letters. Well, we'll get back to security eventually, and we'll get that one too. We'll go back to security soon, I think. Which is... Yeah, we could go back down through the dining room that way. I'm going to draft this first. Guard from the dark room. It is on the edge. You could also get the courtyard, which will have an unlocked door on top. And it's connected. Both of these are good options, but I would need the Night Shield for this. And using the Night Shield on the archive is much, much better. So, we'll do this. And the shovel. Hell yeah. Oh, wait. Do I do this now? I'm going to be going back down through to security, and then I guess to the workshop if I want to combine the metal detector and the shovel. And probably get better rewards from these. We will be coming back over here, so you know what? Yeah, we're gonna wait. Grab these though, that's not gonna change. Bunch of coins. Ah yes, there's a coin in here somewhere. Here. Security. Letter's been delivered to the mailroom. Head up to high. Because we have the key card now. And into the workshop. Look at the spot we're about to use. What else we have? I don't think they can be combined at all. I'm not even gonna check. I know they can't. The coin purse can combine with the lucky rabbit's foot, which we do not have. Right, straight up. All that's left in the commissary is gems. Here. We dig and then we draft that dead end room below us. Hoping for an actual dead end. This isn't a bad idea. We don't need a shit ton of coins. Good on gems at the moment. So yeah, veranda. So we'll find more green rooms, which will mean more dig spots. Possible dig spots. Hey, there's a trunk as well. Some dice. See why I get the detector shovel. We haven't crashed yet. Pump room is good, but like I said, we don't need to use it anymore. Unless I were to go and drain the pool and then come back here to undrain it. But I don't know if the math will work out easily. We'll pump room anyway. Oh, it's currently unusual. Fuck it, we'll set it to common. Like if we set everything to common, then it will actually be random. But I'm not going to do that because there are some that I just don't want to see as much. Yeah, see, the reservoir needs one less, so it can be used for the boat. Fountain needs to be empty, so it can actually be used as an entrance. The pool, I don't know how much more it needs to lose for me to be able to reach those chests, those trunks. But there's nowhere for that stuff to go because this is all full. You're not powered. Ooh. I kind of wanted to shield against the archive, but this is valid. Also open the antechamber. South side. The other south lever is in the greenhouse and it's broken. Since we used the lever, wouldn't be able to use that one. Oh, it blended in. Huh. This also won't connect to... I mean, this one could connect to the foundation. But I want the treasure trove. We'll still get the treasure trove, but this is a better idea. You can turn to get to the foundation. Locker room. Also mean there's a bunch of keys in the conference room now. We go to the foundation. Go here first. Or we have 4 keys. I don't think I want to use them yet. Oh shit. This will actually power the pump room. It's already commonplace. Wait. Yeah, see, it's lit up. It goes through there. So that's good. It's dinner time, which means it might actually be time for me to go back down. Hey, compass, key, gem, and dig spot. I'm going to examine what's in here, just in case there's actually a hint hidden somewhere. Looks like it needs to be cleaned. Not sure how we would do that. We can drain this room, and that's kind of worrying, to be honest. I do want to head back down. We might actually do that through the foundation. Hey, our first bit of trash. Bunch of keys. Okay, all tin cans in here. That's kind of funny, to be honest. Give me... Do I want it to give me an actual dead end? Do I want to put the dark room here so that it never has a use? It gets out of the pool. Or do I want to redraw and try and get an actual dead end instead of these? I don't want the library, actually, because I want to get the bookshop. Getting the patio would, we have a lot of green rooms, including the one we're in and the one we're connected to. Yeah. Better places for windows. And, well, there's a locksmith, just in case. I feel like that's not going to be quite as much of an issue. Guest bedroom. Oh, nothing else in here? Usually a sailboat? Nothing else in here. Usually there's at least a gem or something. Library. And hopefully bookshop. Use the key we just picked up. No bookshop. But both of these are good options. Like, if I redraw... Now we're redrawing. There's the bookshop. Excellent. Made it worth it. Oh, we can get both of these. Excellent. Curse of Black Bridge. Huh. I didn't see that one mentioned at all, so... Let's get it. Redford Ewing. Okay, where are we going? I need to get back to the conference room and the dining room, because they're ready. There are ways onward from the aquarium and the foundation, which we can get to through the rotunda. From here, if we... 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to get there. And we know this will give us 20, which means it'll be 10 to get back, which is a net 0. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And thinking about how many we get down there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? It's the same? Alright, well, we need to get to the conference room anyway. I'll draft this first, maybe? Oh, it's an iffy one. We don't have any dice. Any rerolls. Let's do it. Would you look at that? The kitchen. Much as I'd like to get the foyer, the kitchen will lead into the antechamber. And we don't have the north door open yet. But this is good because it gets into the antechamber. We're not going to head in there yet. We are, in fact, going to go back this way. No, we're going to go the other way. We'll come back to the rotunda. Also, there's a chance we don't use steps, which is fine. Okay, bunch of keys, up to 12. Very good. And lemon glazed salmon. Oh, and we get the additional 10 for the aquarium. Excellent. Ah. Now, I believe we just go back up. We're going to go to the rotunda, into the foundation. Unless it's actually faster to get there from outside, we can summon the elevator. No. No, because we want the rotunda turned in the right direction. Oh yeah, we can get there quicker by going here. Did we dig in this one yet? We did not. It's funny, I took a picture of a diagram we saw at one point, which was the soil quality in the west and east sides of the house. That, I believe, affects the affects what you get from dig spots. But I haven't even looked at it since I think I looked at it once and like, this doesn't really matter, does it? Because if the room doors work how I want them to, that's what really matters. First. Ooh. Both of these are dead ends. We can rotate stuff in here, so they don't have to be. There's also the throne room, and that's just nice to have. Plus, it makes this place a castle. Found that reclaiming the crown and then going to the throne doesn't actually do anything. But it was cool to have both crowns last time and go there. It just felt nice. Like we accomplished something. A nail. Okay. First time seeing that bit of junk. Vestibule is the only one with other entrances. It's the only way to continue moving on. Alright, we don't need to go in the throne room right now. No. Hey, the office. That's good. Gem. Spread coins, because why not? And then maybe check the, wait, why does that look different? No, it's not different. I just never really bothered to read it. We will log in and see if there are any emails or messages of any sort. Nowadays, I feel it's only worthwhile logging in from the office. Because we can check the messages if there are any. I don't expect any emails, but there might be something in staff services. Yep, nothing new. Aha, there is something new.
Simon, I was having lunch the other day with Hartley Rota, who is your uncle's valet and has been on the estate longer than anyone else. He told me that if you call it a day in some bedrooms, there are beneficial effects. I assume his own room might be among that number. Sounds like it might be worth checking out.
I didn't know that. The only one I knew of that gives you an effect for ending the day, and it was a planetarium, because it says it on there. But I guess this makes sense. I'll have to check it out next time we call it a day, or next time we choose to call it a day. Yes, I've heard her ladyship talk about this as well when she was still with us, so I can confirm there's some validity in it, and it's not just another case of Harley rambling on, or maybe it can be both. Would you look at that? A good hint. I kind of wish there was a hint to something in the bookshelves here, but there really isn't in any of the bookshelves we find. There's this, but that's just pictures we've seen before. I believe that's our parents. Or maybe great-grandparents? Something like that. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I don't think that's Mary. We know that's actually Lady Epson, isn't it? So that would be our great-grandparents. All three of the things. Yep, old rusty nail. Same. Key. Nice. Can't shield from the archives. Yeah, billiard room. First. There. You're too young to drink. Math time. 11. 1 plus 3 is 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 plus 1 squared. It's 5 squared. 5 times 5, 25. Minus 20 is 5. 1 squared is 1. Times 18 is 18. Divided by 9 is 2. And the silver key. I don't know how useful that'll be. Actually, getting that right above the billiard room is not a bad idea. Is that the only place? Yeah, these are the only 2 open doors we have left. I mean, yes, these are all excellent. So many steps. I love getting the running shoes. Wait, is that silver key again? Oh, I was really hoping for a different thing, but both of these, their ability is useless to me. But also this. Classroom, why not? There might be something interesting in the classroom. Like an apple. And that's it? I guess that's it. Okay, so I think we go to the foundation and go open the north lever so we can... Oh, wait, no, north lever's in the fucking throne room. Right. We'll go to the throne room, open that, go up to room 46 because we can, and figure out what we're doing before we call it a day, because we have a lot of steps. Commissary, the armory. Bookshop, we actually bought everything. I haven't even gone into the kitchen yet to go to the antechamber. Conference room will have a bunch of coins for us, but what's the point? Vestibule. Now this is unlocked, as I expected. Throne room. Something here. So, there's this. I wonder what would happen if we... Well, we have called it a day in the in room 46 before. Nothing special came from that. Still kind of want to go back there, though. We have 13 keys. I think that might be enough for the locker room. We have no other place to use them, so I'm absolutely using them there. Right, we could go back to the conference room. That has coins for us, not keys. That's not important. We could also try draining the pool to get whatever's in those chests, but that's also not very important at this point. Speaking of, here's a bunch of coins. Close them all this time. Oh, wait. Was this one that I didn't need to? This was one I didn't need to. Shit. One across from it as well. Oh, and you're empty. Great. Really? Wow, no luck in the locker room today. That's better. Didn't pick up the fucking gem. Come on. Apples. And this one just has paper in there as well. Orange. Look at all these fucking steps. We're up to 92 steps at the end of the day. Oh, I only have 2 keys left? Really? Oh, this was the one with the paper. Oh, here's a key. Okay, so only these 2 we missed. First time in the kitchen. We really don't have to spend things here. fucking 90 steps left. How the fuck did that happen? Yeah, basement key we don't need. Room 46. Grab our crown. Which we also don't really need because we've drafted everything already. And we learned nothing else, did we? We were able to place an order for a book. And that's about it. Nothing else can be combined. Is it possible to fill up the inventory? It looks like there's only one spot left. Huh. No place to store anything. Alright, do we go to the bedroom or the guest bedroom to end the day? That's the question. So we can test out what we just learned. I think we go to the guest bedroom because it's closer and we're done. Let's run. Unused steps. To think there are some days where I'm really itching for steps. Archaeological castle. 21 excavated dig spots and the throne room. 43 total rooms, rank 10, 89 steps, and 16 items. And only 2 rooms away from another full house. Maybe I should have looked up if one bedroom was better than the other. Day 47. Steps, 4 gems, and our 44 coins. Nothing seems to be different. So maybe the guest bedroom isn't one. Let's get her out of room. I think we're out of our blessing, but just in case, I want to see if we can blow open that hole in the wall. If it was last run when we got so many items, I would have absolutely come out here to see what we could do with the place. And I had the self-igniting torch last time. Never seems to line up. Commissary is good to start with. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Shovel. First room, very good. And the metal detector. We start with so many coins, I might as well fucking use them, yeah? Sleeping mask and salt shaker. I never have to come back in this room. Puzzle time. The empty boxes are both true. The gems are in the black box. This is not an empty box. Okay, well, if this is true, it has the gems, which also makes this true, which makes this false. There we go. Yeah, why not? I feel like that only shows up with a gem there when this is the only green room so far. Is this 40? It's 40 stars. Only 10 away from something new, apparently. Let's see what this gets us. Diamondus Major. Diamondus Minor. Slice. Twins, pair of chests in the entrance hall. Southern Cross. 4 doors, more cabinet. Clavis the Key. And Farmer's Apple. That's a lot. Very good. Get the rotunda now? Yeah. Yeah, the rotunda's better later. Though it is pretty much the same as this room. You just have to take the time to turn things. Security. Still got that key. The 2 trunks in the entranceway. Drafting? I want to go back, honestly. We'll draft this one. That's okay. That's a good place for the. Well, laboratory. Though that does make that bit a dead end from the rotunda. Lab's important. Archive. Hallway from another hallway. 3 times a block trunk. Lower the water in the reservoir by 1 level. Gain 1 star, add a small chip. If we lower the water in the reservoir this way, then it's just gone. I think that's a good thing, since I was saying I didn't have any place to put the stuff from the pool. So this will be interesting. Oh, and the office already? We won't be able to go on, but the rotunda technically has 2 doors, and the hallway does as well. So, yeah. Only one day has passed. I don't think there'll be any new messages. Hold on. It's just it's about locations. I want to go actually back. Yes, coins. Right. There are coins laying about now. Doesn't matter now, does it? Unless one of these places has coins. We don't have the hammer yet. I will wait on the hammer. Give me the key. Archive so early on. Great, hold it. Not gonna go in yet though. Ooh, tempted for the closet, but the pantry would move on. Yeah. So we would have gotten the hallway from another hallway trigger. The salt's already very good. I was tempted by the dormitory, but I think I'd rather one that can host the sun. Do I have to use a key to get through here? I don't think I'm going to. At least not yet. We only have 3 keys. And I know that the center on this side is blank. Not only that, but the door on that side is also... That was. Tell me. Yeah. And the lever. So we know the center is blank over there. Came in. This is the one that actually leads out that way, which means this is a room as well. I'm going to open this first. Give me that cloister. Salted turnip. Oversized. Key. Very good. Something out here. What was that? Point. Bedroom. Security door. Can't do that yet. Five steps from the mask. Ooh. We have the shovel already. Kennel's a good idea. Could have done the bedroom closet, I guess, to get 2 more items. I want to pet a dog. Here. sure this is unlocked. Ah, absolutely the drawing room. Probably will, but I want to see this first. Dead end, and technically a dead end. I'll take the wine cellar. Why not? We haven't been in here in a while, and there might be clues. Let's dig spot. Right. I was taking pictures of these where we found them. And that coat of arms matches. What does it match? Marigold, which is the combination of Epson Sinclair. Sinclair, Epson, left, right. Okay, so that's good to know. Now that Roman numeral number down there is likely an answer to something. Don't know what yet, though, so we don't really have to worry until then. Nothing's interactable in here. All right. Be able to move power on. Grab this, I guess. We don't have the workshop yet, do we? Right. Means this is definitely unlocked. Oh, yeah, sure, the boiler room. So we'd have power going between these two rooms and nowhere else. It would connect to everything else, though. I think that's worth it. Now, well, there's usually a dig spot in there, too, but not like we have to worry about unlocking doors. The rotunda can also go north. And I think we'll do that before going to the foundation. Dig spots? Yes. Move the power because there's nowhere to put it. Oh yeah, rotate floor plans. That's great. They're all four. There's the workshop, but I think I'd rather the courtyard. Because that goes to the foundation as well. Not that we can't get to the foundation. It would just make it a bit easier. Hammer for that, and we're out of keys. It wasn't necessary. This was going to be unlocked anyway. Oh, shit. Oh, do we archive? Do we lose half our fucking steps? Go for the solarium. And only be able to move forward from the foundation. Where if we get a right turn, we're stuck. Yeah. Right. We're not stuck. The vestibule has a door, too. What's in there? Guarded from this room. Showroom? We don't have 2 gems. Great. Guess it's the dark room. Oh. I'd like the armory, actually, but it would block off that door. It doesn't really matter. We don't need to get to the antechamber. We're looking for other things. We're looking for something that might count as a clue. Well, I can get the shield. I want to do the archive again. Torch and something to open all of those chests. Just fine and dandy. Oh, look, a key. And another key. Very good. Alright. Continue moving. Or do we go and open all of the chests we found so far? Actually, was there one in the courtyard there that I skipped? Yes. Reservoir has been lowered. Car keys. We don't have the pump room this time. So reservoir will continue to lower. Until we can fix that. Throne room. Make it a castle again. Also means open that. Can't get there yet though. These would both allow us to move on. We can also move on through the armory if we want to spend our 1 gem on the garage. Just get us 3 keys. And also we have the car keys. Oh, this counts as a trunk. Oh, hey, a lockpick set. And the secret garden key, which I don't know if we can actually use in this configuration. Okay. Let's head up the armory. This is not close enough to the edge for the secret garden. I can protect from the archive. Ah, security door. You know what? Let me take a quick peek through here again to see if there's anything that might count as a clue. Nope. See there. I looked up where the hints might be for the other sigils. Something was mentioned about the archive, but I'm not actually sure where in here it's supposed to be. Or what it was, really. I just noted the location. At least I remembered the location. Did I open any of these? Lockpick worked. Oh, we could see that book. But, yeah, we don't have the way to unlock security doors yet, so... Sure, we'll go with the morning room. Trunk for us. This bar has been lowered. Oh, look, a silver key. Oh, I should have tried using the secret garden here. Damn it. Well, we might still be able to get it in the top. Yeah. Let's try the secret garden key and see what happens. Key does not fit. Didn't think so. Lockpick work. Conservatory. That's what I wanted. Brick. Also, unlock door. Thank you, doggies. What do we got? You're already commonplace, and I'm good with that. Closed exhibit. It has 3 doors. Oh, it's already rare. You know what? Let's at least make it unusual. Standard. They may be security doors, but we can still get them open even without that, just by putting other rooms around it. And if we can get that red crown earlier on, it might have an actual use. The chapel is commonplace. I'm going to increase that. We're going to make it standard? Yeah, we'll make it standard. There we go. Oh, hey, there's the pool. If we want to possibly get the pump room. Or the sauna. The library if we want to read that book. And this would, of course, lead us back to the archive. All of these will. Which is good. We don't have the west door of the antechamber open. We have a way forward through the vestibule and the dark room. Go for the vestibule first. Though I might want to go back to the entrance hall and open the we have 22 steps. Let's get the library, because we're looking for information. And we ordered a book. Also, there's a coupon book. Nice. graciously gifted by Simon P. Jones, The Curse of Blackbridge. So far, we've only seen Blackbridge mentioned as the connection we use to access something we haven't gotten yet. The legend of Blackbridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm, for versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, more verbose, and as one might expect, increasingly horrifying. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I have heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet, the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Blackbridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic, the story my grandmother told as a boy. Part 1. The Berry Picker from Oris. Oh my goodness! Oh, this is a full-ass fucking book! Guess y'all are getting a narration today! I don't have too much of my drink left. Let's see. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst, in a time when society was at its worst, and for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, high road robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take any easy road out. An easy and well-traveled road, paved with temptations leading out of the city and into the gentry lands, where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jasper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. It was here that he met his surrogate family and saviors, the notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hound. I keep wanting to say Unholy Hands. It's Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tall treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worry of being chastised for tarrying upon his return. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way Jesper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience has its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to his long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in the task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. A carriage! A carriage is approaching! The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept toward the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment more before the sound's source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by 2 beautiful white horses, and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effort that the noble steed slid to a sudden halt with precise control.
You boy! Get out from behind that bush!
He shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear.
You startled me half to death coming round the bend of my own drive and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not be any face.
Jesper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through the bramble and mud. I was picking berries. Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expressions on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicions that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, and even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile.
Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy.
Jesper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. I know, and what luck I found them. I have only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold the time back home to procure this number. The driver bent down for a closer look.
And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far.
Jesper replied with a scripted response. A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods.
My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all that way only this morning.
It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had traveled. And while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, he could see why it might seem less believable here. Sir, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by man that would not be worth undertaking for a prize such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself. Jesper felt happier with this response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile.
In my youth, often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far. And even then, my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward.
It was Jesper's time to smile. Then let my efforts reward us both today. He raised the basket even higher. A taste in memory of your youth, sir. The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket. and at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes. "And for that taste I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth." The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets. "Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause, though I will admit the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me." Unable to find a purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him. "Why have you no purse on your person?" The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing toward the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered the knife's edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn softly. "There's a lockbox in the carriage." "Well, come down, then, and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands, a concession I assure you of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat." The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself in the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree, where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Excusing his inexpertise, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on the man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion. "I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me?" Jesper stopped. Oh no, hold on. "I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me?" Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. "If there's no lockbox, there will be no clemency." Inside, the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed passage in this vehicle. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's back seat: a large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, two observations could be made. Totemic symbols found carved on all four sides of the box hinted that the box was very old and not likely created by Aurundian hands. It reminded him of artifacts from the old world and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusty yet robust padlock that would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing him from his indentured position. "Do you perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box?" Without emotion, the driver replied, "There is no key to that box." Jesper stood up. Easy enough, then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions and lifted the stone up, carrying it back to the box. If there was ever a time when that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed, given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned. "You're cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed." Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. "What is it?" "That's one." Feeling his disappointment rising to anger now, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. "One what, you mumbling Argentor? And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person?" The man did not seem intimidated. "1 pace." He paused for effect. 12 more, and you will be dead." He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses and had never doubted their validity in the past, but now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed? What difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could live maybe another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do? To be discovered here, beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No, it would most certainly be better to face one's fate now. Take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jesper found his legs unable to make the first step. His mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. And if, by some stroke of luck, the gods had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him, as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were beside him. The answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4. Perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value, but the additional risk of undertaking such a task, too great to chance. And so, after a profound breath, he took his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th steps, though they were quite large. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox, whose typical function often secures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? With that statement said aloud to the horses, seemingly, Jesper took up the reins with confidence. Before we get to part 2, a rider with no purse and a dusty old carriage, fancy on the outside but dusty on the inside, holding nothing but a cursed effigy that kills you in 13 steps. I think the driver was cursed too. And perhaps took his last steps getting to that tree. Part 2, Below the Black Bridge. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her in such ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glanced up in the darkness, but did not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, then stepped back into the dim. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered. She was on third watch today. Quietly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend who was more than likely already asleep. She crept through the cavern's main passage, careful not to wake the sleeping bandits around her, like a hero in a book she often used. Hold on, I should have taken a drink at the break. Oops. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it had. She then walked toward the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved, and Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Miller turned, following the finger, and saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had the others been around, they would certainly have been scolded for the unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. They had been on third watch together for over a month, and during that speechless time their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course, but intimacy? Never. From their elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance of the cavern as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. Black Bridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Oris and Reddington. To the city-faring travelers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of her band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cavern house bandit, it was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expressions, nor to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. Ravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, subtly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their month among the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon. Squinting through the leaves, the two girls held still, watching and listening. It was not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Ravia held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later, two men emerged from the bridge's southern end. They were dressed in a familiar uniform, long gray cloaks and black facings, white waistcoats, and black tricorn hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Blackguard. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at Blackbridge wasn't an unusual sight. It typically indicated an important traveler's impending passage across the bridge, information that the girls would promptly relay to their leaders as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the Blackguard was nearby. The men had nearly reached the bridge's north end when Miller heard the horses, faintly at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eyes met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's expression. This did not sound like the typical carriage, cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead, instead of the familiar crunch of the high road's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention downwards, looking through the foliage. The sounds were not coming from the high road, but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had knocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go! Ravy was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing toward the cave. There was no road that ran below the cavern. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. This was a blackguard attack. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry, but before she finished processing that thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain, yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of this sudden halt immediately shattered the front two wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over her shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. Down in the canyon, the entire horde of the unholy hounds came spilling forth from the earth as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Ravia among their number, the only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There would be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. The gang's chieftain, Jeffrey Heartslasher, led the others, cautiously approaching the crashed carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. Weird-shaped effigy there. Miller was inconsolable. Jesper had always been her favorite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every move, the way a child tails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted she had always called him, though deep down she had known that wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged from the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among the nettles of his cave, but he still had thorns, honed by a grim past and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness, in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. The mysterious effigy they had found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out as somewhat special among the rows of similar swords marking neighboring plots. No one spoke, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. Oh, there's a symbol of Orinda Aries on one of those graves. Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling of the earth, a far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her. But even in alarm, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead, louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave. Her Her eyes now opened wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness, pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Ravia placed two bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began. Blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. "Ah," he grinned. "Now they speak." Oof. Oh, and that ends it, huh? Oh, wow, okay. Well, that was fun. But I don't believe it provided any clues to use in the game. Though I'm glad I found it at a time when my voice was not shot, because that was fun to read. Still kind of useless. Now I have to pull myself out of the story of a kid who robbed a cursed effigy and doomed his friends, who were all bandits, but still. Parlors drafted 40, solved 34. Oh, gallery art named is down there, and that will never change. If we find it again, it'll be open. Dartboards, billiard rooms, only 13. See, if we had solved 40 parlors, we would have gotten that trophy already. But we still need to solve 6 more, apparently. I don't think there'll be anything around here either. Yeah, of course I can't pass it up. It's rare. Oh, did I not have the jackhammer there before? Interesting. The stamps give us hints as to the countries, but we only apparently have 3 here, and they are ones we already got. Also, yeah, largest purchase is History of Verndia, paid in full. It should also be the new clue. They cost the same, but I guess we got that one second. Where are we going from here? We're going to the vestibule. Conference room would move on. Nothing in here, though. The master bedroom! Oh, as much as I don't want to draft a dead end, we can still go up to the dark room. We need this, though. H.S. Sinclair's own room. Though perhaps soon you may consider it your own. We'll try and end in here. Also, +1 for each room in your house. Oh, we're back up to 56 steps. Very good. Oh, there's a lot here, isn't there? What? Okay, I want to make it stop beeping first. Ooh, that's nice. Magnifying glass. Okay, that's what was beeping. The controls for the Foundation elevator are located behind the Foundation wall. This This means the controls can only be accessed by another room adjacent to the Foundation. Unclear if this is a security feature or a flaw. Please advise. We already knew this. Oh. Simon, I never intended to finish writing this letter, but by now you must know. Oh, that's it, huh? Well, he didn't... his intention was correct. He did not finish. Morajai box. Oh, this is just explaining the boxes. Among popular fad in the early 30s among both the peerage and common crowds. These small mechanical puzzle boxes originated from the island Morajai as a children's game, but quickly gained popularity among seafarers who valued compact boxes as both a lockbox and entertainment on long voyages. Over time, the boxes spread from port to port and eventually found their way into the homes and hearts of every realm. Traditional Morajai box is distinguished by its lid featuring a 3x3 grid of white and gray tiles, which will change the color of the tile and the surrounding squares. The goal of each box is to find a way to make all 4 corner tiles into white squares. These simple rules evolved as the game spread across the world. Regional variations introduced new colors and mechanics, offering greater challenges and local flavor. While the fad may have ended, Morajai boxes still make for a memorable gift for both collectors and puzzle enthusiasts. So it just changes the ones around it, huh? That's what white does, which is also Morajai. I should have been noting these colors as we found the boxes. We would have had the colors for everything now. The rainbow, Morajai, is white. That's what we get from this. Though I guess... No, I also have the Morajai thing, because that's what that is. Is it just changes gray to white? No, it flips gray and white, I think I'll write. I don't know how it affects the other colors. There we go. That's the original Morajai box. And an allowance token. Oh, it's the Red Prince. To my encouraging uncle, who opened many doors for me. Ever grateful, Mary. Oh, hello. P.S. They made me change the ending, of course, as you predicted. Let's see, we've read this before, but I want to see if it has a different ending in this version. Nope, same thing. Aw. We can zoom in, right? Got a train on his shirt. That might actually be us. Yeah, I think it is. We got Simon, we got Mary, and then we got the dad, which we've only seen mentioned once. In his letter that he wrote to Simon as he was helping Simon pack up to come here. Is that the same one I just took a picture of in the wine cellar? MCCXI. Yes, it is. That is the same one. Okay. That's a cool sword. Big sword. This is what more of what I would expect. Let me take the swords. Can I open the drawers? No. Well, we got the room. Now all we need is the dove coat, and I think we get everything. Okay, we have to head back to the dark room. Which is annoying because we can't fix it. Wrong direction, actually. This way. Shit. I don't want to use a key on this. Came from the conference room. Wait. Oh, let's just go into the rotunda. And walk back in. Shit. Or we can go around. Waste of steps. Foundation. Yes. Yes. Oh, we don't have any gems. Might as well just take the first one. Dead-ended boudoir. We got 2 gems now. In case we need them for whatever invisible room we're going to get moving on. Good thing is, it's a lot less of a chance of being a dead end unless it's actually a... Fuck you! I forgot about that. I believe that's as far as we can go. I believe that's as far as we can go. We could possibly get back to the entrance hall. There are a few trunks for us to open. And if we do that, the key card might be in there. And if not, we just go back to the master bedroom. Okay. There's the security. Nothing else we need on the terminal, yeah? Is it through the observatory? Yeah, I guess so. Bunch of coins. 2 keys. Alright. Great Hall. We'll check. So determined. Shit. From the breakfast. Well, we have enough keys. I know this one is dud. Also, we have lockpick. Right. Okay, gems. That leads that way. From here, well, we could try ending in the bedroom. We have the master bedroom, so we should try that one. Get back there, we can go north until we hit the courtyard and the vestibule. Okay. Oh yeah, we've actually filled up the inventory. And nothing else has popped up since then, so I wonder if filling up your inventory means no more items appear. That'd be an interesting way to go about it. Right, because we can't rotate the rotunda from this side. Actually, we can only get it from security. I should have hit it one more time. Would have made this a bit quicker. Okay, well, we got new stuff today, but not anything we needed. Holiday in the master bedroom. Did it? I think it made a sound when I did that, but I'm not sure. Mount Holly Garden Castle for 6 green rooms in the throne room. 38 rooms, rank 9, 98 steps, 8 items found, 1 new room. The one we went to sleep in, the master bedroom. Well, end of the day. Don't actually sleep here. It's too early for me to be done, so we're doing another run, I guess. Day 48. Oh. Wow. We got a star and we start with 10 more steps. So that's what that does. Ending in the master bedroom, at least. Gives you a star and 10 steps. Nice. Makes sense to end in a bedroom, but not all of them work for it. The shrine. We tried 5 last time. Let's try 6. The gardener, again, which is good. Add 8 courtyards, or courtyards, since we upgraded it, to the draft pool for the next 3 days.
wow, do we start with a breaker box? That would be quite strange. Let's do it. Let's hope we find security soon, too. Off. On. Commissary. Starting here. Sledgehammer, we get the shovel, we get the compass, we get the salt shaker. Start the day by buying out the commissary. Gotta love it. Oh man, do we go for the workshop or the pool? Actually, I want to make sure we get the pool so we have the pump room. Hey! I moved over to... That's rude. It did not select what I thought I selected. Oh, we have stuff waiting for us in the mailroom. Placed, but also, look at all these letters. First of all, this was the one... Oh, maybe this is how our stamp collection grew. We already got that stamp as well. We've read that. Next. Hey Simon, it's Randolph again. In the last letter I mentioned the terminal network would completely slip my mind to give you the network password so you can log into it. Even with all this, with all offsite communications disabled, you should still be able to use the local network to access different house-based functions from any terminal, regardless of where it's located in the estate, which you will likely find useful. Password is Swansong. Happy hunting. We already knew that. Ah, we have a new stamp as well. Also, what does it 9-3 mean? Simon, I'm not sure if you paid too much attention to the machine in the booth in the lab, but I figured I could save you some frustration if you've been fooling with it. This contraption is the central control for power lines that run externally from the house. In the past, we've served as an emergency power source for the local community, as we have modest hydroelectric capabilities with a steam turbine. If you want to use it, you'll need to first turn on the turbine in the boiler room and utilize our steam ducts to connect to the turbine in the lab. This isn't required, of course, and I can't think of any reason in which you'd have to use the boiler to reach room 46, but feel free to play around with it should you feel inclined to experiment. Okay, well, first of all, we already knew all that shit. I don't know what the 9 stamp. Yellow, and it shows a turtle. We can't zoom in on it at the moment. Ever. Who was yellow? Arch Aries. Wait, but we already saw the Arch Aries stamp. That isn't it. It must. If it's orange, who is orange? Hararika, which means their travel is turtle, because that was an option. Was in fact an option. So now we have turtle and orange. I don't know what else is on there because we can't zoom in, but that's the thing. I don't know what that 9 up 3 up means. Did that appear on any of the other ones? Nothing like that. Simon, in case it's useful to you, here's a rough diagram of the steam duct system. Due to the ever-changing nature of the rooms in the estate, we ended up building duct systems to be quite flexible. And if you look along the ceiling in many rooms, you'll find many of them have been outfitted with steam ducts. As long as you align these rooms together in uninterrupted string, power can be transferred from room to room, even if the boiler room and its intended destination are on opposite sides of the house. Yeah, we know that too. Also, I'm seeing green, which is nuance, and a boat, which Sea travel. Okay.
Don't know anything other than that. Please don't tell me those numbers are going to mean something. SKR 6789? Probably not. But hey, we got a thing from those stamps, which was useful. Those. Let me switch that back to chat. And once again, we have this place without having gotten the magnifying glass first. Would have liked it for those stamps in case they showed me any more. But hey, it was still something. Got all those letters from the experiment yesterday. Room. You. For a delayed effect. There's the pool. Close off one of the entrances, but that's okay. I need the pool. So we can get the pump. Which is right here, actually. Yeah, sure, do that. Now, we only need steam power for this, and that's full at the moment. We need to put 3 more back into the reservoir. And take stuff out of the pool. Can I take 3? Everything here is filled up to 4. Fully fill it up, which we don't really want, but we might be able to get an experiment later that will fix it. Oh! Okay, well we haven't unlocked those yet. Pretty. Which, not like that. So back to new. We move 4 to the fountain from 1. Move this 1 to 1. And we can take 3 out of the reservoir. Which will make it back up to 4. 4 in the pool. We need to wait up. I'm going to leave it as is for now. We're going to go to the pool. Which is now low enough. Am I not allowed to access these still? It would allow me to select it. It really has to be all the way down? That's annoying. Hmm. Kitchen. Ah, if we have the boiler room, we'll get more with that. Not yet. More useful later, especially if I end up having to get how's my steps? Yeah, both the shovel and the hammer. Yeah, apparently the pool has to be completely dry to be able to get to those, which is annoying. Rock. Good spot for the passageway. Which is free now. Glad I axed the cost from that. Ah, boiler room. I think so. Can't get it to the pump room, but that's fine. Definitely the courtyard. Also get to the corridor. Hey, salted turnip. I don't think there's anything in the courtyard there, or the hallway there. This would allow us to go in both directions. I want that breakfast nook, but keep finding a better option. I kind of wish we'd gotten the kennel already, but or an experiment for digging up trash. You re-roll to see if there's yeah, sure. Workshop. We could compass a battery pack. I don't think so. Oh, look. Actual dead-end rooms, which is what we want. Let's take the bedroom closet. Only get us 2 things, but it'll get us things. It's a gem and a dice. Or die. So, this is probably better because the passageway can conduct the steam. Oh, hello. Now we can actually make something if we want. Do I want to make the jackhammer? Or the power hammer? Ah, fuck it. Let's make the jackhammer. That's proven to be quite useful.
Shit! Oh, right. I think we've avoided the dark room. No, it still did the thing? I guess I needed to have it here before flipping it both ways would do anything. We can run back and fix this if we want to actually use it. And the boiler room over there is, well, not entirely useless. There should be dig spots. Awesome. Yep, there's 2. Gems. Bolton can. And that's the only use of this room. Where else is it closed off? Wait, that one isn't. Oh, right. Thought it was set up a bit different. Hey, security! Yes, please. Hi. Offline. Unlocked. It's currently offline. There's a key. Metal detector? Really? Where could that be? Because we haven't gone... Well, we can't see anything in the dark room at the moment.
Oh, also, I can't combine it for the detector shovel anymore, but it's still good to have. It would have to be in the dark room. So let's go and fix that, shall we? Do I do this first? Draft this first. We don't have to go in. Yes. Treasure trove. We will be back for that. But I want to go and fix the dark room first. Yeah, this can just go all the way back, can't it? There's nowhere we have missed, right? That could be in. It has to be in the dark room. We have 4 ways north and 1 way east since the foundation. We have a lot of open doors. Or openable doors, I should say. But, in case I was right, let's go to the dark room. Gem. No, as I thought. Nothing here. Where to put it. I need to keep. Making so many of them better. Well, why not? Solarium. Also should be a dig spot in here. Gem. Ah, it's here. I didn't realize we hadn't walked into this one yet. rooms. Oof. Gotta be lost and found. I don't want to risk losing anything I have yet, though. But I know there's a hint in there. So maybe we go in there at the end of the day. It's just 3 red rooms. So, alright, white box. Note, red one. The previous box in this room contained a true statement. I'm glad I have been writing all of these down. This one as well. Okay, so the memos from this room in order have been green. The green memos in the treasure trove are always true. Blue. Green memos in white boxes are always lies. Green. The true treasure of the trove is not in the house. And red. The previous box in this room contained a true statement. I don't remember the color of the first box, but if it was white, that would make all of these make sense. The first one said the green memos in the trove are always true. The second one said the green memos in white boxes are always lies. Green memos are the ones that can be true or false depending on other contexts. Blue is always true, red is always false. This is a red statement, saying the previous box contained a true statement. The previous box contained a green note. The green note in the first one said green in the treasure trove are always true. But since this is definitely false, that makes the previous one false, which makes me think that the first box was white, because that would make the blue true statement, green memos in white boxes always lies, true. So both of the green statements so far have been lies. And this one is of course a lie, which confirms that. But also, the previous statement was, the true treasure of the trove is not in the house. And if that's a lie, that means it is in the house. And it's probably in the trove. After getting it a certain number of times. But hey, this has been an interesting puzzle so far that we have yet to complete. I think we have to actually, there's no way to fudge it. I think it's just forward. All are dead ends. Let's... planetarium. Because it's too early for the freezer. And this will give us an apple. Plus, we can come back here
possibly, we have the steps, after going to the Lost and Found, as that has the spyglass. Gem. It used to go dark. 3 old keys! Very good. Billiard. Kinda wish I could do the kennel, but that would be a dead end. And the parlor? Both of them? No, I think the foyer is a better choice, because then hallway doors are always unlocked. Go this way first. Math puzzle. 18. We have 5 squared, which is 25, minus 15 is 10. We have 13 minus 10 squared? 13 minus 10 squared. That's probably the color is the step at which you do that. So 13 minus 10 is 3, squared is 9. Correct. Okay. We have 20 minus 18 is 2, squared is 4. Cookies. I wish there was a puzzle with the actual billiard table. Bedroom. Yeah, we can still move up from the foyer if need be. Here. Break you open. There's the vault, but do we use the courtyard or the hallway? Same entrances. One is guaranteed a key, this is guaranteed dig spots. This would be 4. No, 5. So there's 8 in the pool. Hey, the silver key in a dig spot? Okay, sure. Nice. Alright. Yeah, we can put the parlor here. Solve another of these. Oh. And get another key. Alright. The gems are not in the black box. This statement is as true as the statement on the black box. The gems are in the white box. Oh dear. Gems are not in the black box. Are in the white box. If this is true, this could be, well, actually, yeah, if it's not in the black box, it's either blue or white. And this statement is as true as the statement on the black box. Doesn't actually tell us anything. So if this is true, where would it be? not in the black box is either of these two. This one is R in the white box. And if this is true, that would also make this true. But then this would have to be true. So this can't be true. This has to be... Unless... Yeah, because if this is false, then they're in the black box. Which would make this false. Which would make this false. So this has to be true. In order for this to be true and this be false. Wait. No, that would also make this true. Because the white box is not the black box. As true as the same in the black box. Which would mean, if this is false, not in the white box, this is also false. Which means this is true. So they're not in the black box. But if they're not in the black box and not in the white box, they have to be here. It's the only one that leads to an answer. And it's false! That could still be true, but no. For that to be true, this would have to be... There would have to be a false thing. So, if this is true, they would have to be in the white box. But the white box is as true as the black box. And this would have to be also true, which would make this true. And they can't all be true. But if this is false, they would have to be in the black box. Which would also make the black box false. Which would make this false. I give up. And I win. I have the silver key. Not the best place for it. Dead end. We can still move on from the courtyard. We can dig in the veranda. We get 8 items in the attic. Let's do it. Oh, and there's a trunk here too, huh? Key and gem. Key, gem. That was 4. If the trunk counts as 1. Secret garden keys. And a treasure map. Rank 5 on the west side. The treasure trove. Interesting that there should be a treasure map that leads to the treasure trove. Also, dinner's ready. He's pointing. We know where this is. That's where the elevator is. He's pointing toward the holes in the cliff. Yes. One kid's looking, one isn't. I'm thinking there might be a hint here. It's about right the publisher. Here there. Wait, I can walk all the way back here? What? This again. Oh, this time. I remember where the A was from the other one. Taking a picture of this one. I remember the A. We should have taken a picture. Huh. I didn't know I could get back here. Let's match that. Yeah, look at that really thin walkway to get there. This exhibit is fine because there's security doors and we've turned that off already. The kitchen is... no, not the kitchen, the dining room. It's close to the kitchen. Foundation. Security, boiler, kitchen. Wow, we have to go around to get there, huh? I do want to go there. And to the treasure trove. So for now, yeah, let's go in here. Is it possible we could get the red crown again? Sort of. You and you. We have a place to. We might actually have a place to use it. I noticed these ropes on the floor in the shrine. And I didn't really know what it might be. I thought it was just part of the scenery, but... lockpick kit. Nice. But those might be fuses. Alright, we don't want to go north yet. Here. Into security. Spot. Time to start digging. Is it just going to be one of the coffers, or will it be something special for being in the treasure trove? One of the lost coffers of Mount Holly, filled with gems. 8 gems. Okay. Fair enough. Boiler room. Kitchen. Pretty straightforward until we hit the boiler. Of 4 red rooms, including the aquarium. So that will get us 20 here. 21, sorry. We have the boiler room. country stew pie will get us 31. All right. Oh, wow, the time. Okay. Wow, we have a lot of steps. We will have free reign of wherever we want to end today, I think. For now, we go back up to security, and then likely up to the foyer. But I want to actually check our computer and security. We never got the lab. I could have actually done that from another computer, but I didn't. And it's too late for it now, I think. I just want to check this. There's a coin, 2 trunks, paper crown, of course. There's a hall pass somewhere? Oh, the hall... It's in Lost and Found. Hall pass and telescope are in Lost and Found. And there's an apple somewhere that we've missed. Also a coin. I know where the trunks are. They're in the pool. I mean, we walked into the planetarium and got that apple, yeah? I guess we hadn't walked in here yet. There's not usually anything lying about. There's the showroom. There's the music room. But we haven't gotten the southern door, so this will actually have the possibility of more things. Plus, it has the moon pendant, which I think I will get. It'd be interesting if it lets us keep a contraption we made. Alright, the observatory. Too late for the breakfast nook. And in here, we could, once we go and get the telescope, do this again. There's the key. Sahil. Oh, would have been nice to get that before we bought the moon pendant. And that's the other thing is the dead. So we're not getting the dead end guy. Even though it is pretty close to the end. Lockpick worked. Absolutely the conservatory. Dice. Alright, we got the treasure trove, which we will set to commonplace. Her ladyship's chamber, which we will set to standard. Doesn't need to be commonplace. The showroom will also be standard. There we go. Those were all rare rooms that we chopped down to standard or common. I like that. In here. Hold on. Secret garden. Works. Sadly, we don't have the power hammer this time around. Because I used this stuff for the jackhammer. I didn't know we'd get this. Oh. I mean, there's no point in that. It's a dead end. Did it anyway because we're here. wish we could have gotten the power hammer. There's something we could have gotten here. Ah! Which is another one of these, I think, that turns the third one of this to, well, wherever it needs to actually turn. Probably in this direction, which is why I turned the others in that direction. Oh, right. Also getting this place spread food throughout the house, which we have a conference room, so it's over there. Huh. Gallery, but what would be the point? This is the last room we can draft. Yeah, it is, isn't it? 3 empty spots that we can't get to. That's okay. Sure, draft a gallery. Thought these are open. Key 8. Oh, I shouldn't have picked that up, should I? It's gonna get added to the list of things the moon pendant might let me keep. That. Now that we've done everything. Oh man. We're about to lose 2 things. Wait, no. I wanted to go outside first. A lot of steps. We can just go. Just loose out security. I could go outside to go quicker, I guess. Now the goal is just exit out the front. Wait, where's the conference room? Why not? We'll go this way. Look at all the fruit. And it's all salted. Holy shit, that just got us up to 96. We really don't have to worry about the steps we use at this point. But I want to test something out here. One thing we could also do is collect all those coins and see what we can get in the showroom, but I don't think we can get all of it. I don't think the sale applies to it. Oh, it's not a fuse, is it? Are they not ropes, but cables of some sort? Do they have a purpose? Never figured out if they had a purpose. So it has been confirmed they do not have a purpose. Oh, that's just an outline for the big guy. Okay. Nothing to blow up in there, I guess. This might have been fuses. Okay. Our next destination is the Lost and Found. I think there might be a clue in there, even if it is only partial. Now we have a lot of steps, so I'm not...
if it gives us enough clues for one of the sigils, we can go down it. You've lost metal detector. One random one we lose. Okay. I'm okay with that. Let's go. Ah, we do have a partial sigil. But not the center of it. However, that does have the motes and the weather and the color. So, what color is that? Scrolling up, finding the border. Pink. That's the pink border. Oh, would you look at that? We already know the colors don't repeat, and there's only one that I don't have the color for, and that's Vera, the puzzle piece. So that would be pink. The, motes are spiritual. And the weather is heat. That is absolutely enough to get it. Where did I put the weather? Next. Okay. Heat. And those are close together, but that's not quite enough to know which one it is. However, that is enough to go and test it. Okay. We're going to end this by getting another sanctum puzzle. Hooray! Would it be quicker to get to the foundation or to go in from outside? Go down the foundation, which is not this way. Sort of. Yes? Yeah. Zigzag. Yeah. North. West. North. Right at the edge. Alright, let's get Vera. Which is this? It's filled all the way up again. So we can't use that. Don't need to, though. As much as I would like to end it in the sanctum right after doing that, we're going to go back up and end in the planetarium. Yeah. We know, we can't get there today. There. Drums have started. Have it spiritual. Weather, we want heat. That's the transportation. I'm going to leave it for now. And this one is pink. Okay, we knew two of them were close together, so it would not be this one. Or this one, because the moats go on the top, not in between. Wouldn't be this. Again, they're not in between. That's just straight across. This. Pink. Hey, my logic worked. I forget what that one is. I'll type it in a Vera. Oh, with the turtle. Oh, yeah, the turtle. Wait, so that's what that was? That was Vera, not... Oh, dear. I thought that stamp was Kararika. Well, I will deal with that bit. Okay. Take a picture. Despite my prejudice against Mother Nature, I own that I have deeply loved my time here at Vera. The memories of the youthful trip I took here with my brother have been relentless, and as I have gotten older, I find less and less occasion to recollect on such trivial pleasures. One thing I do remember vividly, which has not lost a single speck of charm, are the famous turtles. Each visitor of Vera, upon arriving, is lent one of these hard-shell friends for the duration of their stay, to serve as both steed, guide, and companion. I am still under the spell of island life, even if the weather here is much more severe than it was on Morajai. Well, we know from this that he went to Vera after Morajai. Turtles. The variation. Oh, that is wonderful. While Morajai boxes were never as popular in Vera as in other realms, pink tiles were eventually introduced based on the Veran people's devout respect of the sacred circle. When these tiles are pressed, all adjacent and diagonal tiles rotate around the pressed tile. Rotate. Okay. Now, I wrote down turtle for Kararika, but that may be wrong. So I am going to delete that. Based on the postage stamp we had just looked at, which was apparently for Vera. Does orange do again? We didn't find that out, did we? Reset. just surrounded by pink. It turns into it. The way that happens. Oh, just this one. Balance token. Which is now at 48. Damn, that is an amount to start with now, isn't it? The only one we have left to find is the diamond over here. That is in the Mechanarium. If we can get enough doors. Just run. We're going back to the planetarium. Or, do I have the observatory as well? I do. We should get... What were the constellations? Just the sail, keys, apples, none of which is worth going back for. The planetarium, on the other hand, is not just for the end of the day in there, but also because we have the looking glass, spyglass, and we'll get another bonus for the planetarium. Currently, it's the apple. I think it'll be apple and something else after. It's only additive. I'm literally guessing here. Okay. Out of curiosity. Paper crown, apple. Trunks we can't get to. Hey, what do you get? Mamora, guiding light. Starting tomorrow, each planetarium will contain one ivory die. Okay. 42. 40, 7 different constellations observed in a single night. We saw that. 50 is a new constellation spotted. 29 is the first time Devlin does minor and major at the same time. Interesting. And we call it a day. Okay. Mount Holly Archaeological Shopping Center. 18 excavated dig spots, 5 shop rooms, 42 total rooms, rank 9, 151 steps, I think that's a new record, and 14 items found. Okay, we had some combinations we weren't able to pull off, which annoys me. Though only one, I think, that I know of. Actually, no, there were 2. It was the Secret Garden without the power hammer, and the torch without the dynamite. Okay, well, for now, let's see who we can raid. Is it fucking 10 o'clock again? Are you kidding me? This is what happens. I'm like, oh, I still have a few minutes left. Let's do another run. And then we have a fucking huge run. Really can't predict this fucking game, especially since I decided to only end my stream at the end of a run. Okay, who did we raid yesterday? Someone who is not online today. Okay. Oh, maybe that could be interesting. Or I could send you back there. You two? No. No. Yesterday we raided Leshy, so they're not online right now, which is good. I'm not tempted.
so many people on today that I would want to raid. Let's send you to Lanny Pator. More Baldur's Gate 3, more Dirge Run, which last time we raided in that he was going to start his Dirge Run, he wasn't online yet. He had just started, but he's been going for an hour, so let's do this. Looks like he's playing a Drow Monk. Interesting. All right, send y'all there. And until next time, this is the Pirate King signing off. Have a good night.